Hello guys, welcome to another episode of the day. So today we are going to continue from where we left off from the last time. By the way, before we continue, if you haven't already watched the previous video, remember to watch the previous video so you keep up to date with us. And always remember to show some love and subscribe to the channel, and never forget to leave your comment and help me do better. So what we are going to do is, our main agenda is going to be, when we click on a country, we need to get the country page. So we need to get the country, and then we need to get some ID. Okay, we have this page already. If you remember from the previous videos, we already set up our routes, so we should be able to get a single country and display the data about that country. So let's begin with that. First of all, I'll jump into my VS Code, and then I will say over here, whenever we click on the country name, from the previous video, remember we just try to access the name of the country just by writing this code. So now with this nav link, it's going to help us navigate to the single page with the ID. So what do we want to do? We want to say, whenever this country name is clicked, then we want to navigate. So whenever you want to navigate, always remember you're going to write it in JSX. So you will say, give it a backtick, and then we say /country/ and then we have to access the ID. So you still use the country.name.official. So we say country.name.official. So always remember to have this in a bracket, and then access it with the $sign, just like this. So basically what we are trying to say is, if we go in the route folder, we will see we have the route for the country, the single country, and then we are accessing one country from the ID. So this is the parameter we are trying to access. So let's save this. Everything is working fine. And then let's see if it works. So we'll go back and say this country. Okay, now you see we are having something in the URL, which means we are getting a single country. Let's try another one. Let's try Georgia. Now we are getting Georgia. So which means it is working fine for us. It is working fine for us. So what I like to do, I always like to do console log and see if everything is working fine. So after we access the country name in the single page, then we need to go into the country page so we can get the data. So inside the country page, you need to get the ID from the parameter. So let's say something like const ID equals to location. We need to call the location hook. So what I like to do first is we need to say const location equals to the use location hook. remember to import the use location hook from React router DOM. So we will say const location dot path name, const location, we will say const ID equals to location dot path name. So we are trying to just access this path name. And then we will say dot split. And then what are we splitting with? We are splitting with the slash. And then once we split with the slash, give us the index of 2, which is this one. So this is going to be index 1, this is going to be index 0, index 1, and then index 2. So we just want to access this property. So we will split it. Let's console log and see if we get only Georgia. Console.log ID. Okay, perfect. We get Georgia here, which is working fine. So everything being all equal, we are on the right track. So before we move on, we are going to get information from the ID. So I would say, first of all, we need to make a use state. So let's say const country equals to use state. So I like to always import my use state on the top. So equals to use state, it's going to, I will give it an empty array. It can be null, it can be anything, but I like to give it an array. So once that is done, I would say we are going to call the useEffect so we can fetch the single country. So let's say const fetch country. Before, I like to define my function before fetching before. Const fetch country. Const fetch country equals to, I'll give the const response equals to await axios dot get. Okay, remember to import axios. Axios dot get. So what are we trying to get? We are trying to get one single country. We are trying to get one single country. So the country we are trying to get, we are trying to get by the ID. And this is the ID we are getting from the location path. So everything being equal, you should be able to get a response. So always console log before, so you can debug your application. Console log, and then we say response.data. Remember, we have to say data, so we just only get information about the country. Let's save and see. What do we get? Did we get anything? Okay, let's try it. Okay. Doesn't seem like we are getting anything. Okay, why not? Why are we not getting anything? Because we are not calling our fetch country. So in order to do so, before we even continue, we say we have to use our useEffect. So we say useEffect. Always remember to import useEffect from React. And then we say fetch country. So once We are fetching the country. Let's give it a console log and see. Okay, so once we are rendering the country, everything is working perfect. Okay, we are getting information about the country. So also what I like to do is I like to give the dependency an ID. So whenever the ID changes, we need to just render the DOM. So that's it. So we are getting information about the single country. Let's see. We get information about this. We are getting information about this country as well. Okay. So everything is working fine. We just need to display. So let's see if we can find our design we are trying to mimic. 1 second, I find the design. Okay, so we just need to display the flag and then we need to just display information. So let's say we are going to have a box. We are going to have a box. Remember to import box from Chakra UI. Then once we import the box, let's give it a height of 80VH. Once we give it a height of 80VH, and then we will say H1. Then we'll give it a we will give it we will give the title. So we will say country dot area. So this is basically the information we are getting. But why are we getting this error? I will just pause for a second and then you can think about this. Why are we getting this error? Okay, I hope you try to guess the answer by yourself as well. But basically why we are getting this error, because we are not setting our country. So for instance, we say we are getting the data, but we are not setting our country. So let's say we set country.area. So we don't have anything called country.area. So first of all, I'll say console.log country. And then I'll try and take this out first so we don't get any errors. Let's see if we are getting any information. No, basically it's empty. We are trying to access the country and we are giving it an empty dependency. If you give it if you give it a null, you still get a null. If you give it an object, you get an empty object. So we just have to say set country here. And then now everything should be working fine. So if I paste my code back now, everything should be working fine. So height ATVH, and then that area. So we are still getting there. Why now? Okay, so now let's try and see if we console log the country. Are we getting any data? So no, we are still not getting any data. So where is this console log coming from? Okay. So when we console log the country, we are getting the data. Okay. So super perfect. Everything should be working fine. Everything should be working fine. Everything should be working fine. So I would first of all would like to give it a box here. And then inside this box, I'm just going to copy and paste some styles. I'll give it a width. Just give it a width of this. And then I'll say we want to map through the country data. So we want to map through the country data and render information about the country. So we just say country.map, and then it will take in a parameter. It will take in a parameter of country. We'll take in a parameter of country, and then we have to give it a key. Every child should have a unique key, otherwise we are going to get an error. So every child should have a unique key, otherwise you are going to get an error. Let's try and see if we can render the image. We have to always remember to import image from Chakra. Are we getting any error? No, we are not. We are not getting any errors. So I'll give it a source country.flag. I'll say my source is going to be country.flags.png because I just want to access the flag of the nation. And then I'll give it an alt property. So that I'm going to give it a rate property as well. So basically, this is just to scale on different devices. We're making our responsiveness. And then we give it a height of about 350 pixels. 70. Perfect. So now things are working as they're supposed to work. Things are working as they're supposed to work. Okay. Save this. And then we can see our flag is being rendered. So basically, I would like to keep this video short so I don't make this video too long, so it makes you bored watching a long video. So I hope you have gotten some information from this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. But guys, please don't forget to show your love and give me a comment so I can always serve you better.